that the Mets made at the conclusion of the after the winter meetings had already ended. They picked up, I want to call him a third baseman, but he's more of a utility infielder because he's played short in the past. He's played second base. But Jorge Polanco is now a Met. He signed for 2 years, $40 million. That's a $20 million AAV. And I actually like here's the thing. I like the move because the man has a bat.
Yeah.
But I have mixed feelings because you're asking a guy who's only played one game in his career at first base to play first base. Before we get into our opinions, I'm going to put up this graphic here. This was Jorge Polanco in 2025. He was a member of the Seattle Mariners. So not only did he play last season, he also played in the postseason. Here's his numbers in the regular season. Had a 265 average, which if you are watching this show, you know that I always say 250 is the modern day 300. So average, I have no problem with. He has power, 26 RBIs. He's a guy that bats 5th, 6th, or 7th on any given day. So the RBIs are not always going to be there, but or they may fluctuate. So not a 100 RBI guy, but 78, I'll take it. Not a stolen base guy, only 6 in the regular season. The OPS is what I'm looking at, 821. And then in the postseason with the Mariners last year, 208 average, but of course it's postseason baseball, different animal. But 3 home runs and 8 RBIs for Jorge Polanco in the postseason with the Mariners last season. Of course, that Mariners team that caught fire, as they always have done in the second half. They went and took the AL West out from the Astros. So I know the Mariners are hurting to lose a guy like Jorge Polanco. And I guess my favorite thing about Jorge Polanco, not forgetting his 686 OPS in the postseason last year. But my favorite thing about Jorge Polanco, and you know this from talking to me, the man's a switch hitter. And in a lineup where you have lefty power in Juan Soto, you have switch hitting power in Francisco Lindor, now you add another switch hitter. This is a guy where, say, for example, it's late in the game, game's on the line. The opposing manager can't do a switcheroo. He can't put in a lefty for a lefty or a righty for a righty. It's not going to matter for Jorge Polanco. So, I really like this move from an offensive standpoint. Again, 3 home runs and 8 RBI in 12 games in the postseason last season, 48 at bats. Listen, from an offensive standpoint, love the move. Defensively, like I said, only 1 game in his career he's played at first base, and that was in his rookie season with the Twins all the way back in 2017.
Yeah.
So, Barry, your thoughts? Do you like this move? Are you concerned about where they want him to play? And I'll even throw one more wrench in there. The log jam of infielders on this roster. Who's the odd man out, do you feel? Who could get the axe if possible? Go ahead.
So to answer your first 2 questions, love the move. I think he's a good player. He's a guy that doesn't strike out much, a guy that does have switch hitting power, a guy that does like the big moment. It's really, really good to have a guy like that wants to play in New York. I heard that, I believe that his father, something's going on, like something's with his father. I think it's in New York or whatever it is, but he wanted to come here. Like he was really, really motivated to be a Met. And that speaks volumes. He's never played in a big market. So that's a concern. But if a guy chooses to come here and he does have a flair for the dramatic, then that you hope can be able to translate to being in the big market, right? One of the biggest negatives that I have for him, it's just the fact that if you look at his career over the last 5 or 6 years, durability has been a concern for him. So if you can be able to get him to play at least 130 games, that's a plus for you. The fact that he has not played first base, and we heard that Jeff Passan reported that, the plan is to play him mostly at DH and first base. I mean, we got to wait and see. It's concerning that a guy that's never really gotten major reps at first base is going to now get some games at first base. That doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather have somebody that has experience, which I don't think that going into the season, that's going to be the only first baseman that we have on the roster. I do believe that he will add somebody else. I have a feeling like a Ryan O'Hearn is going to be somebody that they add, right? But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. To answer your third question, in regards to the influx of infield talent that we have, I don't believe that a lot of these guys are going to be on the roster. I don't believe that Mark Vientos is going to be here. With the addition of Polanco, Mark Vientos is pretty much done. Like there's nowhere for him to play because you're going to have Polanco at DH. You can't play him at third, and you definitely don't want him at first base. So where are you going to play Mark Vientos? So expect Mark Vientos to be moved. I can see Jeff McNeil also being squeezed out with this move too. Jeff McNeil, you don't need him to be your super utility guy anymore because you got Jorge Polanco, right? And then if you have Carson Benj who's going to be out there, so you don't need him. We'll see what happens with Mauricio. There is some potential there for him to be on this roster.